Hi, welcome to week 6. This is chapter 3, problem 6 in the quiz access. Okay, I hope I can explain this correctly. So we're going to just work through this. So A, depreciation on the company's wind turbine for the year is $6,200. So in our journal, we are first going to put in our depreciation expense on the equipment and an expense. The normal balance is a debit, so we're going to put $6,200 in here. And then our next adjustment is the accumulated depreciation, and that is going to be a credit of $6,200. Okay, next. Prepaid insurance account for the solar panels had a $3,200 debit balance at December 31st before adjusting for the costs of any expired coverage. Analysis of prepaid insurance shows that $1,200 of unexpired insurance coverage remains at the end of the year. So I like in the book, the reading this week, it talks about how you first need to identify what the beginning balance is, which is this $3,200, and then you identify what the final balance should be. So it looks like we should have $1,200 of insurance covered that we still of prepaid insurance. So if I pull up my calculator, we're going to take $3,200, which is our beginning, and we're going to minus the $1,200, which is the remaining, which means that we have used $2,000 worth of prepaid insurance. So we're going to start out by putting that $2,000 in as an insurance expense. And expenses, again, are the normal balance is a debit, so we're going to put $2,000 here. And then we are going to, we have to credit the prepaid insurance account, which is an asset, and we're going to put it the $2,000 over here. I also liked in the reading this week, it talks about how when you do adjustments, you have to adjust the income statement, which is revenues and expenses, and then you also have to adjust the balance sheet, which is the assets, liabilities, equity. So you can see we did that here. We first started with adjusting an expense, and then we had to adjust the asset, which is the prepaid insurance. So those are like the core things that I'm hanging on to this week for this lesson. Okay, number 3. The company received $6,600 cash in advance for sustainable consulting work. As of December 31st, 1/3 of the sustainability consulting work had been performed. So we take our calculator. So our beginning balance, is at $6,600, and that's going to be from unearned revenue, because that is work. That's money that we have received, but we haven't done the work for it yet. So our beginning is, and then is $6,600. Our balance is going to be the 2/3 because we've used 1/3. So our balance of the unearned revenue is going to be that 2/3. So we get out our calculator. Let me clear this. And we put in 6,600, and we're going to divide it by 3 because it's breaking it into thirds. So 1/3 of 6,600 is 2,200. So we are going to first start with our unearned revenue, because that's going to be our debit. We always start with debits. And unearned revenue is a liability. and their normal balance, or their normal, oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called right now. Again, their normal balance is a credit. So we're going to debit the unearned revenue for $2,200 because we've done the work for that. And then we've got to go on the other side, and we have got to get our services revenue and put $2,200 over there. Okay, number 4. As of December 31st, $2,400 in wages expense for the organic produce workers has been incurred but not yet paid. So when it hasn't been paid, it means that we owe them a bill, and that means that we have a payable, which is a liability. So we're going to first start in our wages expense, because expenses, their normal balance is a debit. So we're going to start and put $2,400 there. And then we are going to find we have a wages payable. We owe them money. And they are a credit because they are a liability and their normal balance is a credit. So $2,400 there. Hopefully this is making sense. I work in accounts payable, and so that kind of has helped me. Is I pay bills that my company owes people, and then accounts receivable is in my same department, and they are waiting for people to pay them because we have given them the products, or we have done the service for them, so they are holding the note of receivable, waiting for money to pay us. Okay, as of December 31st, the company has earned, but not yet recorded, $520 of interest revenue from investments in socially responsible bonds. The interest revenue is expected to be received by January 12th. So we've not yet paid it. It's not been paid. Yeah, we haven't received it yet. So that means we've got a receivable. And it's going to be an interest receivable. And receivable is an asset. So we're going to debit that for the $520. And then because it happened in the month of December, we have to do the interest revenue because we record revenue at the time of service of $520. And we're going to check my work. And it is correct.